Greg Pruitt here with the Idaho Dispatch, and I am sitting here with Representative Mike Kingsley. And so before we get into kind of the legislative stuff, can you tell everyone real quick which party you're with and which district you are representing and kind of where that is?
Yeah, I'm District 6, which is Nez Perce and Lewis counties. And I serve on health and welfare, commerce and human resources, and local government. So I'm right in between, I'm right in north central Idaho, so it's good to be there.
Okay, and Republican?
A Republican, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Proud Republican.
Okay, so we're in 2021, opening day of legislative session. You know, what are you hoping as a legislature that you guys can achieve here in 2021? And is there anything in particular you would like your constituents to know that you were working on personally?
Well, I'm working hard with, I don't know if you can, but I signed on to this, and I'm excited about the conservative legislation that we're pushing through. And I think we've got the numbers that we can really make some progress with good, solid conservative ideals that have long been needed in our communities. So I'm excited about that. One thing very concerning to me is election law. I think because of COVID, we saw a lot of judges and people outside of the authority of the legislature making voting decisions. And I want to return that to the legislature. And we're the people that are elected. We go out and we fight for those votes for people because we represent what we hear from them. So it's important that we are the ones that make the decisions on voting law. And I think because of COVID, we saw a lot of that getting moved outside of the legislation. The Constitution is very clear that all voting law is to be done by the legislature. And I want to see us return to that. So that's one thing I'm going to be working on extremely hard this session.
So would part of that concern be with last year, the primary was supposed to take place in May, and voting was essentially extended all the way through June 2nd. And that decision was kind of made between the governor and the Secretary of State's office. It seemed like, I don't know if others were involved.
Well, and I do think that they went through the courts as well. And I think that brings back a lot of what went on in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and other things. You know, those were extended because of COVID. You know, well, this is an emergency. And, you know, we can't have that. They should have called us back into session, and we should have made the decisions to do that. And I know we're a part-time legislature, and that's difficult to do, but we need to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore.
And that's another, you know, we get it in the comments quite a bit about being able to call yourselves back into session, and you know, why didn't the legislature do anything from the end of March, I think last year, all the way until now? You know, the governor has the ability to call you back in. He did in August, and so there's a lot of people wanting something like that to change to where you can call yourselves back in much easier.
Yes, and there's been some interim committees during the summer working on just that legislation. So I'm very supportive of that and excited that that's one of the first things we're going to try to get through. And I think we have enough votes that even if he was to veto that, we can override it. But it's still going to be a very important thing in our session that we have the ability to represent the people. That's what we're hired to do. So we need to stay that way.
Okay. All right, Representative Kingsley, anything else that you would like to add to either the people of Idaho or to your constituents directly?
Well, just keep up the fight. You know, all these things that went on in Washington, D.C., you know, I think it set back the Republicans and the conservative movement a little bit. But the time now is that people rise up, that we realize that was a bunch of goofballs that acted on their own, and we're not that. We are working for the people and the conservative message that needs to be said. So that's about all I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.